I'm having a lot of phlegm. Not like a huge amount, just like a bit. Like it. What it is, yeah, is it's. I'll get on. I've got some points that I want to make on this video, but it's just the extremely mild embarrassment of like having, being, walking down the street and going, like, I guess. Okay. Right. I'm gonna get myself in the middle. So this is one hell of a trigger warning to transgender people. So if you're trans, you might not want to watch this. It's a positive thing. So I'll just get on and say it. Let me just read it first. So when I was transitioning, right, from male to female, I found that I'd stopped feeling... it's hard to explain. Okay, men feel their feelings in a certain way, right? And women feel their feelings in a certain way, and the two are 100% different. And I mean, you gotta trust me, I'm transgender. I've been both, I am qualified to say this. And as I transitioned from male to female, I started to lose my awareness of how, like, I feel good in that masculine way. What they are is their emotions. It's the emotions of like feeling good, say walking across a field, checking out a place, a familiar place, somewhere. It's like a place, could be like really, really nice, as a man. And it's the feels of being there, the joy, the sweet joy of being there, these are the male feelings that, like, when I started transitioning from male to female, I was losing my ability to feel that. And I did what I just I don't know if I'm trying to warn against. No, I'll just tell the story as it is. Yeah, it does make sense in the end. So I'll just tell it from my story. So I got into very deep depression because I felt like I didn't know how to feel happiness because I'd lost this way of feeling. It was on my mind all the time. I've lost this. I can't feel that because that was happiness to me, and I'd lost it. But like I say in the beginning of this video, there are male pleasure feelings and there are female pleasure feelings, right? Of like, walking through the countryside is like a good example. They both feel completely different. And I feel that I'd got myself into a negative thought loop. I've just learned about these negative thought loops the other day from Stephanie, somebody, coaching, Stephanie Lynn Coaching, yeah. telling myself that I couldn't feel anything, was like a negative thought loop, and it kept on going and it kept on going, kept on going, and it pushed me right down into the deepest, darkest depression I've ever been in, right? And I was unaware of what it is, is that, I'll say it again, men have a certain way of feeling good, women have a certain way of feeling good, and the two are very different. And I wasn't losing anything, it was just changing from the male way of feeling good to the female way of feeling good. And I'll be real, because I feel I need to here, that I had very major, huge problems dealing with that. And that's the first point on my list that I wanted to make as like a trans girl going through life. And it for me it was a huge difficulty, because like it like I say, if I'd have dealt with the cycles of thought the negative cycles of thought that I kept having, if I'd had the tools then to do that, I could have escaped from all of that pain, and just embraced that I was entering like a women's consciousness, and I would have that kind of pleasure. Okay, so I'm reading the next one. Okay, so I'd part of this is about assertiveness. I said to my mum, I said, the classic way. No, you probably don't. This is Stephanie Lynn coaching as well. How to say like, I feel this way, or I feel that way. She spoke to me, and she made me feel a certain way, but I didn't word it like, oh, you made me feel that way. I just said, I feel this way, and I feel this way. And what that did was, there was a bit of friction, whatever. I don't remember what quantify how much it was. It wasn't a lot at all. And then we started talking. We just started talking about anything and everything, and we talked all day long. The TV was on, and I was ignoring it. I listened to like some of Moneybox or News Quiz or Now Show or whatever it is, but I talked for the whole time that I was with my mum, because when I asserted myself, that was the very second that I got there. So I've spent the whole day having proper conversation with my mum, and this has been like a negative thought loop that I've been having, is that I can't relate to my mum, and when I started when Stephanie Lynn coaching, right? I would just call her Stephanie Lynn. When she explained to me that about these negative thought loops, I realized she did it in the context of like a breakup, a really bad breakup, going through it over and over again, how I'm lonely, how like they don't care about me, how, and all this, and saying like, what it does, it prevents that person, you, me, anybody, from like getting into another relationship. It does the damage that, I don't want to just babble, I want to, but like, so I let go of that. Like, we broke up in a very bad way. She just left me. She just left town and left me. And I don't want to let that get into a negative thought loop. That's just me validating what happened. And I want to be very, very careful from that, not to get into like a negative thought loop. I feel pretty safe from it because of like the day I've had of being completely out of that way of thinking, and talking to my mum all day long. Anyway, I want to move on to the next one, which is right. This makes me look a total psychopath. Okay. I'll word that differently. I'll say I don't want this to make me look like a total psychopath. Okay, but what it is, is that people who talk, like say you've got a husband and wife and they talk all day long, they just talk, maybe they're retired and all they do is talk, right? When they get on a bus, right, what they're going to be doing is talking. They're going to be talking all the way through the bus journey, and that is all that is. And that's a huge Freudian slip, and that's a huge amount of vulnerability, and it shows that I've grown in a huge way. So I'm throwing that in as well. I am authentic. I like to think I'm authentic, and I like to think that I can be myself, and I can show parts of myself that I want to show, because if I want to show that part of myself, I'm going to try and be authentic, and I'm going to show that part of myself. So it's pretty dark in here, but and also, right, yeah, it's just a statement, which is that I feel that the more I talk, I mean, this is the first day that I have really, really spoken to someone. We chatted all day long, and this is the first in my life that I have spoken that much in one day. It is. And my statement is something like, when you meet anybody, when we're regularly talking to someone, and I can't speak from that perspective because it hasn't happened to me yet, right? But when we're regularly talking to someone, what people say on the street, obviously it reduces anxiety, because anxiety will push the mind to find bad in like what people say. So talking, it reduces anxiety, but also because I became so used to just accepting as a decent comment, everything that she said, it was all a decent comment. If I felt she was pushing me around, then I would say like, oh, I feel this way, or I feel that way. But everything was a decent comment, right? Really decent, really respectful, whatever, right? And because I lived that day today, I found that when people randomly talk on the street or walk, this couple walked past me, and that it was the way she said I did, like I'm thinking of triggering, but I'm also need to make really clear that it wasn't a trigger. It didn't trigger me, but I think what I'm trying to say is that talking to someone in real depth for a long time, and by extension, I can't speak for this, but having a relationship with someone and talking to them all the time is going to just mean that you can travel around, you can walk around the street, you could travel wherever you want to go. I'm not talking about school here, I'm way past school. And there are going to be no triggers, because I'm so used to hearing someone say something to me, and knowing that it's okay because I do it. When it was a situation where I didn't talk and other people did, that's when I found it triggering. But now I've started to talk, I don't find it triggering. Anyway, I want this to stop under 15 minutes. I'm going to stop it right now. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Goodbye.